YouTube channel again, or if it's first time, welcome. In this video I just want to talk about card games that I've been developed and that I'm developing. Some of the card games are multiplayer games, some of the card games are solitaire games. I think I have probably, say, 7 games that I've crafted into playable cards, and then I also have probably 20 games that I've been working on over the last 3 years, some on the computer and some on scratch pads, stuff like that, but in really rough drafts. So now I think I'll just go through my my completed games. I don't have boxes for them. I just have plastic bags that they came in from the store or from the crafters. So this first game here is called Cycle, and it basically uses the power of fire, water, and earth. You play against another player, so it's a 2-player game, and you draw 5 cards each. You pick 3 cards, and you pick an order that you want to present the card, whatever power, fire, earth, or water, and you almost like you sort of draw the card, one card that you want to go first on each player, and then you see through the flow which card wins, and you usually score a point. Now so if it's fire, if you draw fire and they draw water, they would win that point. And then if you draw earth and they draw water, you would win that point. And if you drew earth and they drew fire, you'd lose a point. So it sort of works like that. Fun game, simple game. Fun game if you're playing with 2 people. Another multiplayer game that I've developed is called War Chaos Battle, and it's a 2-player game, and you either pick the side of a hero or the side of a villain, I think, or the monsters. So like so some of the artwork I've created of the villains and some of the artwork I've created of the heroes, and they're numbered 1 to 5 each card. And so I'll pick a number between 1 and 5, and your opponent will pick a number between 1 and 5. And if I say 2 and they have a 2, a card with a 2 on it, they place it down. And then if they say 5 and I have a card with a 5 on it, I'll place it down, and we compete for gold. So if I have more cards that he has called, I win the gold, or if he has more cards called from the number I called, the opponent wins the gold. And I think in this box here, there's probably I think 15 gold, so you got 15 rounds. Usually goes 20 minutes, I guess. One of the other games I've created is called Wheel, and it is a game based on the color wheel. Excuse me. So you want to have 5 red to win, or 5 yellow to win, or if you give your opponent 5 blue, they lose, or if you give your opponent 5 yellow, they lose. So red is a score for yourself, blue is a point against your opponent, and yellow can be either red or blue. And if you can use a color wheel, so if I have a red card and a blue card, I need a purple card to link the cards together. So I would take a red point, I would link with the purple card, discard it, and then give my opponent a blue card. Or vice versa, if I had a blue card, a green card, and a yellow card, I'll give my opponent the blue card so they lose a point, and I'll use the green card to link to yellow, and I can choose either I get a point sort of masquerades as red, or it deceives your opponent with blue, or with with blue. And so it's a color wheel game, and the deck is pretty thick, so it can go 20 minutes to half an hour with 2 people. You can play more than one person if you want. The same rules apply. And you can use black, you can use white, and there's wild cards with brown. So brown can be anything. Black can decrease the value, or it can increase the value. So a white can act as an extra red, or it can act as an extra red, or an extra yellow, or a black can knock out a card your opponent lays down. So you can knock out a linking card, so that the green, purple, and orange, so they can't do a combo and stuff like that. So later on we might introduce a gray card where you can sort of use a null, and you can lay down and your opponent can play a turn, or you skip a turn or something like that. So that's the multiplayer games that I've created, that I've gotten crafted, and they're playable. So again, that's War, Chaos, Battle, Wheel, and Cycle. And so I've created some solitaire games. I've got 4 solitaire games created. So I've got one called Sage Try. It's a pretty thin game. It's a solitaire game. Basically, it's a rule of 3. So you have different groups: a 5 group, a 10 group, a 15 group, a 20 group, a 25 group, and a 100 group. And there's a little bit of math involved. So if I have 2 5 cards laid down, and the additional numbers on it, if I lay down a 3rd card and it's higher or lower, you sort of guesstimate. So if there's 2 5 cards down, and I have another 5 card ready to be played, I guess either it'll be over or under. So it's an over or under game. Really simple. It can last for a while, and there's an easy way with colors. If you can't see it, there's an easy way with colors, and then there's the master deck with gray. So you don't know if you call a 5 card, a 10 card, or 25 card. So if you have 2 cards, the total would be 100. You attack with 14. Say you have another card that was 20, so that would be 25. And you have another card that say might be another 100 card. You would guess if this card would be over 100 or under 100 from the 2 initial cards you have. So hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. Got another one here called Sage Hero. Sage Hero, it's a card game, a combo card game, and you have a treasure, you have health, hit points, you have combo cards, and you have an enemy in 4. So the treasure will be on the upper right, enemy will be upper left, combo will be lower left, and health points will be lower right. And you would draw an enemy, you would draw 7 combo cards, and you would try to use the combo cards to defeat the enemy. You have to defeat 5 enemies to maintain the treasure, and you want to get the highest treasure to win the game. So there's probably 30 treasures. You sort of shuffle it, you pick 3 treasures, then you pick 5 enemies, you try to defeat 5 enemies, and you can deal out hit points and health and damage and stuff like that. It's a pretty fun game. Got another one here called Sage Fast. So in Sage Fast, it's sort of supposed to be a racetrack game, but you can or racing game, but you can take it as slow as you want. So you have 3 cards, 3 piles in front of you, and one racer, a person, either a car or a person that's racing the race, and you want to guess which card of the 3 piles is going to be blue. And if you pick blue, you get to warp a game. But meanwhile, you're drawing cards to give you stats at the end, and you can get warp cards and more point cards that accumulate more points along the way. So the whole idea is to hit the blue card, to guess the blue card. And this is a yellow card here, sorry. I don't have it all laid out, but you try to guess the blue card out of the 3 piles. So the 3 piles of 30, you can probably even divide it up into other piles as long as they're equal. And then you try to finish the race as fast as possible by hitting as many blue cards as you can. It's a pretty fun game. It can take a while, and you can replay and you can sort of challenge your previous score. And this is another game here. So this is Sage King. So Sage King is supposed to be a long-term game, and you have an event as the Royal King. You have magic, which is an offense. You have tech, which is defense. You have gold. You have health, and you have items. And there might be a few other things that get added to along the way, but you basically you get to go first, or you get to go second. And there's dragons, there's giants, there's orcs, there's new characters introduced in this. And sometimes you're given a choice with the event. So you pull the event. So if it's king first, you get to choose. Sometimes you get a bonus by making a choice, but you have to keep track. So maybe you want to keep a pen or paper. It's a fun game. There's 3 expansions. Oh, there's 1 main game and 2 expansions, and it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. So you want to set an afternoon. I plan on developing it more, but this is all created by myself, and coming up with new ideas takes time for sure. This is popular with some friends of mine, Sage King, but I've got other games on the go. One called Spaz, some other Sage games, more color wheel games, a color key with a key or color messages. Trying to incorporate more solitaire games. Up in the north here is pretty quiet and stuff like that, but that's about all I have to offer for the game introduction. Hopefully you had a good time. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the alert button, leave a comment if you have any comments. Great. Thanks again. Bye.